Fertilizer is key to unlocking Africa's immense agricultural potential. Yet for years, decision-making in the fertilizer sector was hindered by one major challenge: fragmented, unreliable data.
With the trade data, we're able to know that this is the source of fertilizers for this country. That means if a country you are sourcing a lot of fertilizers from is having issues, it will also affect the supply of your fertilizer. This is africafertilizer.org. When you type africafertilizer.org, it will bring you to the website where we have the homepage. We have 3 languages currently: English, French, and Portuguese. On the website, we have all the countries that we are covering currently. You can see all the countries here, the 18 sub-Saharan African countries, and then you can see under visualization by country where we have the dashboards. So there are a lot of country dashboards, 8 country dashboards. In the same vein, there are a lot of publications that we do. The plant register is one, where we map all fertilizer plants in the region. So when you click on this, it will open up, for example, in Nigeria. When you click on it, it opens up all the fertilizer plants that are available in Nigeria.
From interactive maps to monitoring tools with market risk information, data on affordability, availability of fertilizer, and the distribution channels, the web-based tools are designed to holistically provide insights into the supply, demand, and use of fertilizer at both country and regional levels.
The advantage of Africa Fertilizer is us being on the ground in all these countries that we operate. Most of these 18 countries, we have people on the ground. Even if they are not in that particular country, they are very close by who can easily go into the country to do any kind of assessment that is being done or needed by the countries. One thing that we also do for this risk is it has to do with the robust back end that we have, because there are a lot of softwares that are being used. Development Gateway developed or hard-coded everything for us, so it has been customized. It's not like a random software that is being used or a software that we just purchased and we are using. No, all these graphs and all these charts and all this information, we had meetings in the beginning of the initiative, the V5 initiative with Development Gateway, to talk to people, know their needs, and then know what charts or what information they need and how we can get some of this information to be able to package it and give it to them. So after that, they develop a robust system where we are loading the information in there. So data can go in there anytime. This has been customized to us.
Development Gateway has played a pivotal role in transitioning from Excel data and Excel spreadsheet to integrated and dynamic dashboards. That has been a big shift because, it's so hard to uncover the insight from raw data. But when we engage with stakeholders and you show them visuals, you unload kind of like all the heaviness of the work that they need to process or the line of the data. The fact that those is visual and they can see trends. And then you can bring them to the discussion because they are more open to look at it, to think, to ask critical questions. And the discussions and the conclusion out of those discussions are usually evidence-based because it's starting from data and it ends with data.
Whether it's policy decisions like setting fertilizer subsidies, forecasting demand, or making operational investments, Africa Fertilizer has changed how decisions are made across the continent.
When you have information on consumption, you can do trend analysis. You can know which fertilizer is being used and at what point. Using that kind of information, you can come up with policies on subsidies.
The other interesting thing is the issues of accountability. All of us used to say that the private sector was actually manipulating the prices. But if you go to the dashboard, they have actually done quite well in terms of showing us the cost build-up. We start with, for example, FOB, the other costs, attended costs, even within distribution, up to the last level. So anytime now, when we are even making decisions, we are happy because we only need to go to the dashboard and then we can see how the fertilizer prices are building up.
Within the government, the efforts are like diverse, say, coming with digital soil maps, along with this, coming with market-related data, which could be displayed on digital platforms as a dashboard would be really quite important. So This is what may be accessed by experts, by decision makers, policymakers. So this would contribute a lot. For someone who wants to collect data and do some analysis, this would be a good platform, say as a researcher. Likewise, if a decision makers, policymakers would like to make, economic action, say to have a right way of, right time to buy fertilizer, to fetch fertilizer at the right time, at the right reasonable price. This would be the right platform.
These iterative tools are not just improving access to fertilizer information in the continent, they are building trust and transparency across the fertilizer value chain. Everyone is now empowered to make decisions that lead to better outcomes for agriculture.
When we started out the VIFA program, we saw a lackluster adoption and consumption of data in the way it was. But over time, as we engaged more, as we interacted more with the stakeholders in the VIFA countries, there was a tipping point at some point where they came to realize that without data, we're not advancing our businesses. Without data, we're making the wrong policies with regards to our fertilizer sectors in our own countries.
The result is a stronger, more resilient agricultural future that is powered by data and driven by innovation.
AfricaFertilizer.org is one of those great initiatives that have changed the landscape. It's one thing to have access to data, it's another thing to have access to credible data. What Africa Fertilizer has done is create a platform where everyone is able to understand how the data is gathered, how the data is processed, and the quality of the data. So there's a lot more comfort. I don't think you'll get data that is better than the AFO data for the African fertilizer region.
With penetration of new technology in the different countries in Africa, I can only say data then takes its own central space in informing how businesses and policies are done going forward.